brothers and sisters, mothers and misters, bunions and blisters. Welcome to the 6 p.m. mechanic session. I am your man, the head mechanic, Mr. Mech. Welcoming all of you to the garage, 6 p.m. garage session. I still got to get that catchphrase together. Anyway, hit the likes, hit the sub. That's the way you show love. Let me know you're in here, and let's get right into this topic, man. 50 gave up. You can call it whatever you want. You can get mad at me. You can make all the excuses. You can cap till your head falls off. You can tell me all the reasons why he didn't need to respond back to Ti. You can tell me all the reasons why uh you know it's cool that he never got in the booth. Um, let's call cap on a couple of those right now though. While I have your attention. First of all, shout out to all the mechanics in the room. Shout out to Charlie Funk. See you in here, bro. Thank y'all for hitting the alerts so you know when the garage is open. As I said before, hit the likes, hit the subs. That's how you show love. But I really don't want to do too much beating around the bush. All the mechanics, y'all link up. Y'all definitely link up in here. Let's keep that party going. Bottom line, Fifth gave up. If you are a troll and your main method of trolling, of course, social media, instead of on wax, which is another way to troll, which 50 doesn't need any help knowing how to do. Go back and check How to Rob. That whole record was one big verbal trolling session. But if you're a troll and social media is your medium, and we go back over there to take a look at your response to Ti's latest diss, which he's putting bell to ass. But we go back over there and take a look, man. And you done took everything down. You disabling comments. People can't even comment. The G Unit faithful can't out comment all the grand hustle heads pulling up in there to either looking for a response or just wanting you to do something. And I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. I was hoping this was gonna be the thing that got 50 back in the booth on this kind of time. For all of you jumping in the comments telling me 50 don't rap no more. 50 ain't going in the booth. He's not a rapper no more. He's a mogul. He's this, he's that. The reason I haven't addressed y'all is because I was hoping you would see for yourself. One Google search would have stopped you from embarrassing yourself. The man had a verse out 2025, late 2025. He had a verse. And he did another one this year. You have to miss me with the he don't rap no more. He don't rap when somebody is rapping at him. Say that. Y'all gotta knock that off. He don't rap no more. He's not a rapper. He's a mogul. So why is he insulting rappers? And one way or the other, listen. And here's the other thing: stop acting like I got a dog in this fight. I'm not on Ti's payroll. I never could be. And even if I'm on someone's payroll, they can't buy my word. They can't buy my integrity, bro. Like, I'm gonna tell the truth. The truth is, I was looking forward to 50 returning fire. I was hoping he had it in him to do something. I didn't know how it was gonna turn out. I didn't know if it was gonna be a good diss or not. Can't tell you that. I'd be lying if I said that. But your man is disabling comments. Your man disabled comments and then took a bunch, then took all those posts down. That sounds like waving a white flag to me. Now, maybe I'm just not too up on internet culture. Y'all can tell me if I'm wrong, but taking down the comments, I mean, like disabling the comments and then taking down the post completely, that kind of sounds like, somebody just gave it up to me. Now, here's a take that's not so hot to those of us who are hip hop heads. And I don't mean this to insult in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Respectfully, I'm gonna say this. I don't think 50 Cent. Let me start from the beginning. It's looking pretty obvious that he's not gonna return fire lyrically. Like he's just gonna leave this alone and walk away, and continue to be uber successful in the world of TV and film, which all the best. That being the case, and his reaction to what we've seen come from Ti, kind of uncovers something for me that has been there for the longest time. No disrespect to 50 as a rapper. No disrespect to 50 as a businessman. No disrespect to 50 as a hustler. No disrespect to the man who had a movement. But I don't think 50 was ever a hip hop head. I've never looked at him like a hip hop head. I've always looked at 50 as a hustler who happened to rap. That old Jay-Z phrase. I'm not a rapper, I'm a hustler. I just happen to rap. I think that was it. I think rapping was always 50's vehicle to getting rich. And he did it. But when I walk around telling people like I'm not a rap fan, I'm a hip hop head, there is a difference. There is a parallel. And I think that's what we're seeing right now. I think 50 has shown us that, the hip hop head in Jay Z is why every few years or so we get a verse, or he might drop out with an album when he's got, more money than he can spend. He's already achieved the hustler's ambition. He's already got that dream on Smash. Worth $1 billion, you've hustled. That's it. You got it. You're a billionaire, you win. You win the hustle game. But we'll still get a verse from him. And he's been rich way longer than not, and he'll still drop in with a verse. Why? Because when you're a creative and you're a hip hop head and you're an MC, it doesn't cut off. Eventually, you're going to do something. It don't cut off. The people who are hustlers who happen to rap, they do everything they can to stop rapping. The first opportunity they get to not have to rap anymore, they're not rapping anymore. I've seen it many times from people who are nowhere near the level of success as 50 Cent. I think at a certain point, rap just becomes something that they do for the social cachet of it. Because it's still a very, very cool thing at that level. And there's a cool factor to be had, and people want to be around the cool factor. And it just becomes a vehicle to promote this, promote that, promote the third. It's a stepping stone, but it's the craft. That's not really important to these dudes. And once they get the bread, they are gone. It's not about the fame. It's definitely not about it. Maybe it's about the fame, because fame can be monetized. You can monetize fame. You can monetize attention. So you keep the attention going. You keep the fame going. But the craft itself, that's irrelevant. And I used to see that a lot in like the late 90s, early 2000s. I would watch people who hustled get rewarded. Let me say that another way. I watched hustle rewarded over talent a lot. A lot. People would say, "Well, he can't rap that good, but he's hustling. He's working really hard." It didn't matter if the music was good, if the talent was there. Nah, but he's rapping really hard. He's hustling really hard. So that's enough. It was always hustle was over talent. He didn't have to be that good, but if he worked really hard, somebody gave him a break over the talented guy who is scrutinizing his songs and double checking his raps and trying to make sure that this is what it needed to be. Like because the hunger never left, ever. Meanwhile, the guys who got rich, as soon as they got the chance to cash out, we never heard from them again. I think, with the exception of like a few social joints, just to keep the social cafe, just the cachet, to keep the popularity up. keep that popping. They wanted that. But rapping, tedious, they didn't really care. And I think that's what we're seeing. 50 and T.I., not to pocket watch, but financially they both seem to be doing pretty well. I don't think either one of them need to be making music anymore. Absolutely not. I don't think so. I'm not their accountant, but I don't think they need to make music. I think when you're an artist and you're a creative, somehow along the path in this hip hop thing, in this rap music culture, industry culture, we've gotten it twisted to the point where, you know, we've allowed people to deem the craft corny. They can now call the craft corny. Like you still rapping? Like rapping is the least important thing. That's like number 5 on the list. And we've let that narrative continue. And we've allowed hustlers to come in and make, all the success, and salute to them. I'm not even mad if 50 legit had a product that the whole world was interested in, the entire music industry was interested in. He was a movement. I'm not mad at this man having a movement. What I'm telling you is I don't think he was I question if he was ever really here for the music versus for the money versus for the hustle. And it's no disrespect. You dig? I get it. I get it. I get it. But you see somebody like T.I. who's, and I'm not a mind reader, but the fact that he's going after this thing for the sport, like we don't even know if these diss records are even going to, well, I can't quote their diss records. We don't even know if the diss records are going to be on the album. The only confirmed single we've heard from the album is Let 'Em Know. And Let 'Em Know was making a lot of noise before all this other stuff started. Like, in my opinion, all this other stuff has almost derailed from the attention of Let 'Em Know, which is why when people are like, I saw some guy comment, you dedicated this whole album to dissing 50 Cent. Bro, we haven't even heard the album yet. You making shit up. Number one. Number two, I have no idea which one of these records are even going to make it to the project. All we know is Let 'Em Know is definitely more, it looks like the lead single. And we haven't heard anything about the album after that. If anything, this seems to be taking attention away from the album. But you can spin it now that it's happened. You can 100% spin this off. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think we may have come to the day where we just realized that 50 was never here for hip hop. 50 was here to rap and make money. And now that he's rapped and made money, and now that the money is being made without rap, he pretty much doesn't have much interest in rapping, period. That's what I'm thinking. And I've always thought that, but I like the music. I always, and his ability to make hits was second to none. So you would hope that we could get some more of that. But if this is just him saying, my heart's not in this, just you gotta miss me with the he's not rapping anymore. The boy just had a verse out. Excuse me, I don't want to disrespect. The man just had a verse out this year. Go look it up. One Google search would have showed you that he does indeed still hop in the booth. Whether that verse is old or he pinned it on the spot for that specific record, go look it up. Go look it up. The man's a hustler, though. The man's a hustler, and hustlers do whatever they can to get the bread in. That's the hustle. That ain't got nothing to do with the craft. It's got nothing to do with the craft, right? And in this arena, this is an L. This is an L. If you're in my comments screaming at 51, that's 51 this thing. That's just, there's no talking to you. That's like MAGA levels of cult worship. I'm not trying to convince you of anything. Like, this is an L. The man hasn't replied back with any records. For whatever reason, he hasn't. And he took all the posts down, which was his only way of engaging with T.I. And now I'm seeing this 18 hours ago, he posted, "To entertain is to provoke emotions. Love me or hate me, it's cool. Just care enough to feel some kind of way. Tomorrow's gonna be a slow news day, or y'all can just make some shit up. I'm busy." Laugh out loud. And then he puts the cognac brand up. Look how many bots on this page now. That was him again. Yeah, bro. You started it. And again, you guys, if you're not new here, shout out to all my mechanics in the room. If you're a mechanic, you've heard me say before, attention is the new currency, right? There's no better example of that than 50. My only issue has ever been when it comes to everybody, not just him. My only issue when it comes to that is, well, how much is it worth to you? How much is the attention worth? Me, if attention is the new currency, what are you doing to get it? Because a lot of y'all are looking real cheap out here. And 50 is doing what he's always done: troll for attention. And that is what it is. Whether you like it, whether you love it, whether you rather he didn't do it, whether you hate it, whether you ignore it, it is a thing. It's what he does. It's what he's always done. I don't expect anything else. I think the only revelation I'm having out of this whole situation is 50 making it very clear that his heart has never really been, that of an artist. I think he's creative. Can't get past that. Can't ever take those stripes off him. He's marketing wise, that's creativity at its finest. He's a genius when it comes to that. But like as far as like art, making music, I don't think his interest has ever really been there outside of what the music can provide as a vehicle to other things. Other things being money, being the cash, being the hustle. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right. Like this is his thing. I think his fans are now on some old, they need to defend this. They don't want this to be an L. So they're looking to defend the fact that he's not rapping and he's not getting in the booth. He's not going to reply back with a 16 or a diss record of his own. And I see a lot of coping happening. And you wouldn't have to cope this hard if you just came to grips with the fact that your man's not, he's never been. He's never been. Even if he came out with a verse and lost, even if it just wasn't as good as Tips, if he came out with something and lost, you could tip your hat and be like, well, all right, he gave it a shot. You know what I mean? Everybody takes an L. He gave it a shot. No big deal. But his heart is still pumping that art. But his heart pumps money. So he's found a way to turn all of this into attention for his other situations. And one time for him. The man knows what he's doing. And he's doing it well. Shout out to LL. Like, shout out to LL. Like he's doing what he's doing. He's a master at that. But this was the time to rap if he wanted to catch the W, right? The W for T.I., the only way to get the W was to rap. T.I. took the fight completely out of and completely off of social media and totally turned it to music. He let King handle all of what's his name. He let King handle all the social media. He just took it to rap, and there's no getting around that. And again, this is not. It's not even close to that serious. Like 50 is not going to suffer from this in the broader scope of things. He's not gonna suffer. He'll manage to turn this into dollars like he always does. He'll manage to turn this into marketing and branding like he always does. But there are other circles. They're gonna be just as relevant, just as influential circles who are gonna see this as a no. So people saying 51, even 50 don't agree. He knows he took a night. Yeah, like you gotta let the folks cope. You gotta 50 fans are relentless. You gotta let them folk. I got a bunch of comments coming through here that I'm ignoring. You want me to read one of those? That's a super chat, bro. I'm not about to sit here and lend time to folks who are really just copping pleas and coping left and right, trying to find the angle that their hero looks good in. It really shouldn't be that serious, but it is, and it is what it is. Like, I would hope to have fans as dedicated as 50 does. The man ain't put out a project and I don't know how long, and people are still like, G Unit. I would pray to have a fan base that dedicated. But let's keep it a buck. This is an L. This is an L. Especially when it's the white flag is up when you take down the post. The post come down, that's a white flag. I'm not even gonna read that, but that was hilarious. Now, if y'all spin back around, Imperial, that was crazy. I'm not even gonna read it, but hopefully the mechanics will see it, and that was crazy. Again, hit the likes, hit the sub. That's how you show your boy love. Welcome to the garage, the 6 p.m. session with your man, Mr. Mac, head mechanic. Get your coveralls, get your tools, and let's get right having this conversation about the 50 Ti thing, because it's some real hip hop stuff we talking, and I think we just need to I think we just need to come to grips with the fact that, he's never really been of the culture like that. I think he loves the music. I think, he was happy. But I think 50 is one of these guys who, if he could have found another way in, if he could have found another way to the money, he would have taken that way. We'd have never gotten those albums. I think he did what he needed to do to get where he needed to go. I think the difference between he and the kind of people I'm talking about, the kind of artists I'm talking about, is they get rich, but it just fuels the art. It's more art. Nas is, not making small deals, but we get albums from him. Like, he'll go on a run and just dump projects. We'll get 5 joints in the space of whatever, full projects, and then get another one with Premiere after he releases a bunch of other music from other artists. Like, and whether you like that album or not is besides the point. The fact is, Nas is rich enough that he does not, from what we've seen. Again, I hate talking in absolutes because I don't have anybody's bank account information to actually look in there and see. But from what we've seen, and from what we know, Nas doesn't have to rap anymore. Jay doesn't have to rap anymore. Ti doesn't even have to rap anymore. A lot of these guys are living off their catalog. They have other businesses. They have multiple streams of income, and they've made hundreds of millions of dollars. They don't have to rap. They rap because they love it, because they're artists, because they're MCs, and money doesn't stop that. And I don't expect people outside of that to understand or respect it even. I don't. I've seen it long enough to where, you still got you. Why you rapping? You already got money. Why you still rapping? Those are the kind of clowns I don't entertain. You don't get it. Just say you don't get it and leave it alone. Just say you don't get it and leave it. I don't understand why you would still be rapping when you already got money. Just say that. Leave it alone. Trying to clown somebody for actually having a passion just tells me that you've never had one, or never one that you've actually tried to, like, go after. You've never had one. Your passion might be money, which is why you do anything you can to get to some bread. Even if you made a bunch of bread, you'd still be trying to get more bread. That, just consider that your passion. But if you don't understand that everybody doesn't function that way, that there are artists out there who actually love creating art and it just drives them all the time. Our best art is a calling that you do till you die. It doesn't cut off. I always find myself going back here. Prince died in an elevator going down into his studio. Michael Jackson died getting ready for a tour. James Brown died on his way out to Vegas to do a residency. Charlie Parker died on his couch writing sheet music. You know, Gregory Hines found out he had cancer. He didn't start doing less. He did more because you got to get it all out before you go. That's real art. That's what it is when you're an artist. You don't stop because you get rich. You don't stop because you get sick. You don't stop because you just don't stop. I can bet you money. A bet will never be able to. I can bet you money that Jay-Z still has lyrics in his head that he's never spit. That he's just itching for the chance. As soon as an opportunity comes up, he's ready to rock. Promise you. Promise you. Promise you. As much of a hustler as he is, as much of a marketing and business success that he is, I promise you that man still got bars in his head because he can't seem to really walk away. He could have left it alone a million times, but he doesn't. And when he drops, it's always something that's excellent. It's high level. Kendrick has made a bunch of money. He's still after it. And this man doesn't really seem to be addicted to fame. Not as low as he be. Like you barely ever see this guy out. It's not the fame that he's doing. He's an artist. He's a creative. Mac, you think we'll get a Hove album? Do I think we'll get a Hove album? Probably. If I'm being honest, probably. 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 I think he's probably got a couple like the dude don't write nothing down. He's probably already got a couple just sitting there. But there's no opportunity to release them, and maybe he just the process of releasing an album, putting it together, the marketing plan, all that takes work. So it's a great chance that maybe he's just not there to go through the rest of the process, but he's probably got albums ready to rock. I think there's a good chance we'll still get another J album. Could be not, but I think we might. He gets an itch. Who knows? Who knows? That's the creative thing. I think 50 did what he did to get in the game, to get to the bread, and now that he's accomplished that, I think he's trying to distance himself from needing to ever go in the booth again. I think he's trying to distance himself from that. And this is not a personality shot. This is not an insult in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm from Queens. I got nothing but respect because I respect the hustle. Most times, I respect the hustle. But I got to keep it a buck with you. Like, I think what we're seeing is the realization that 50 was never really here for the music more than he was here for the money. I've experienced those types over my career, long time. A bunch of dudes who were nice with the pen, but the first opportunity they got to crack the safe and not have to go in the studio, they ran to do it. They ran to do it. We never heard from them dudes again. And I'm talking about some incredible fucking lyricists. Part of my French, but why am I parting in my French? Some incredible lyricists who we've never heard from again once they got an opportunity to get to some money. Never heard from them again. They found a way to flip that into some other businesses. Never heard from them again. And then I know super success. I know people who are very financially well off and successful, and don't have to rap anymore, don't have to make music anymore, don't have to go to the studio. They're still there. It's what they love. And I wish more people respected that the way we should. I wish we understood it and then respected it. Respectfully. But that's my thoughts. Like I said, here for a good time, not a long time. Hit the likes, hit the subs. That's how you show love. This has been the 6 p.m. garage session. I'm your head mechanic, Mr. Mac. Just in here to bust it up, put on the overalls, get the tool belt, and get it right. All the mechanics, I will see you again tomorrow here at 6 p.m. Hit your alert so you know when I'm pulling up. And let's have this discussion. I'm going to jump down in the comment section. Let's bust it up and go back and forth. Y'all tell me what y'all think. In the meantime, in between time, I will see y'all tomorrow, 6 p.m. sharp Eastern Standard Time when we go live. I'm your head mechanic, Mr. Mac. Shout out to all the mechanics in the room. Garage is now closed for the evening. See y'all tomorrow.